Welcome to No Strings Attached, untangling conversations about shady topics. Hosted by Roger Magalhaes, this podcast pulls back the curtain on the window covering industry with expert insights and a splash of Brazilian flair. Whether you're an installer, designer, dealer, or just fed up with crooked blinds, get ready for real tips, industry know-how, and plenty of laughs. Now, let's get untangled.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of No Strings Attached. My name is Roger Magalhaes, and I am your host. If this is your first time here, welcome to the show. And if you have been here before, welcome back. Today, I am going to share a experience I was living in and not even realized it. But before that, I just want to remind you that this show is sponsored by blindsonline.com. It is a e-commerce for window coverings. They provide a good selection of products at very affordable prices. Who needs 50 shades of white? So it's a very curated selection, so you don't waste time. You don't need to scratch your head trying to figure out what to do. Simple and affordable. Blindsonline.com. Check them out. So today's episode, it's about a experience that I not even realized I was in. So if this is your first time in the show, you have no idea about my last year experience living in Florida. So we bought a house. 2 weeks later, we got hit by 2 hurricanes, 3 feet of water inside, everything washed. So, dump everything, need to do construction ASAP, bring life back. And trying to live a life and run a business at the same time. So it has been chaotic, to say the least. So we have a contractor coming in at 7 tomorrow. And then Anna asked me, hey, can you wake me up at 7 o'clock? So actually the contractor was coming at 9. So can you wake me up at 7 a.m. so I have time to, get prepared, get ready, and meet the client, the contractor at 9. And I say, yeah, sure, no problem. But after a little while, I was thinking about it, and I say, why does she need 2 hours? She's not driving anywhere. She just needs to wake up, take a shower, get a cup of coffee, and then, she'll be ready. In my mind, 30 minutes stop. So trying to be the nice husband, caring for my wife, I said, I'm not going to have her wake up 2 hours in advance. I'm just going to, 8 o'clock, go there, wake her up, and life is good. So I thought. Big mistake. And actually, huge mistake that I was trying to do that. So here I come next morning, 8 o'clock, ready to leave the house. I say, honey, 8 o'clock. Honey, 8 o'clock. You got to get up. And she was like, what? Kind of half dead, half, on life support equipment. So what do you mean 8 o'clock? And I say, 8 o'clock, the guy's coming at 9. I say, I told you, wake me up at 7. I say, why do you need to get up 2 hours early? I say, Roger, I need 2 hours because I need to hit the snooze button a couple times before my soul returns to my body. Then I wake up, I take a shower, grab a cup of coffee, damn, I'm ready. And I'm just listening to all of these, and then I got that little, bulb over my head. So Oh, she needs time to reconnect and understand and kind of get back to life. And I realized I've been doing all wrong myself since I moved to Florida. So let me just explain what I'm saying. Living a very chaotic, very 100 miles an hour life in Boston, running two companies, president of WCAA, rental property in Florida, all bells and whistles, running like a maniac. Then gets to a point that Anna gets a call from a friend. Her husband come home, drop dead on the floor. 2 weeks later, another friend called with a very close call. Her husband ended up in the ER, almost, left this planet. And she was all frantic, said, I don't want to go through these myself. You always wanted to have an easier life, so I'm ready. So we ended up moving to Florida in 2023. And I thought it was going to be an easier, more slower paced life. But it was actually a big mistake. A big mistake in a way that we came here, but I didn't sell the business in Boston. So now I'm dealing with something that I never done it before, managing my company remotely. So before, I had everything in my head. I knew exactly how everything worked. You just needed to ask me a question and I knew it. Now I had to create processes to explain to other people what they need to do if I'm not there. And just a side note, I wasn't there pretty much 100% of my time because I was down here in Florida trying to create a business from scratch down here. And, so I had to figure this out while managing another growing company in Florida. So there's a big stress right there. Then I realized once I moved to Florida, that's a lot of business on the outdoor side of the home. So I'm very comfortable with all the inside drapes, shades, shutters, art hanging, everything on the interior side. Now come to Florida, I realized there's retractable awnings, there are hurricane shutters, there are roller screens to the outside. So being the kind of guy that wanted to be a one company with everything for my clients, I saw big opportunities right there. So I start going after training and making connections and finding the vendors and trying to understand what I need to do those. And hurricane shutters require licensing, requires the dealer to become a general contractor in order to provide that kind of product. So running the company here, running another company in Boston remotely, finding a way to get my license, um, marketing new products, getting, I'm the new guy in town, so I need to work 3 times as hard to be recognized, going to networking meetings. And the slowdown part that I thought I was going to have is basically none. On top of that, we buy a house and we got hit by the hurricane the week after. Now I have all of the above, plus remodeling, plus dealing with construction, plus dealing with insurance. So to say the least, it's a lot going on in my life that was supposed to be a slower pace, living life, you smell the rose kind of thing. So we've been kind of grinding all of these for 2 years to finally get settled, construction almost completed, and then that conversation with Anna just hit me exactly what it should, the snooze button. So maybe I didn't do right. Maybe I shouldn't take it on all of these when I moved here. So those things really helped me wake up. So I sold the company in Boston. I decided to reorganize my offerings down in Florida to really see what makes sense, what is noise, what make me feel comfortable offering. So here's the bottom line. Sometimes we think we're going to change, but we don't. Let me give you an example. You promise yourself that next January 1st, you're going to stop smoking. You're going to lose weight. You're going to start saving for retirement. And everything works for a week, 2, 3, a month. And then something else happened. You're right back into the old habits. And that was exactly what I was doing when I moved to Florida. I saw opportunities, and then I want to do more. I want to expand to outdoor products. I want to do these. I want to do that. And next thing I know, I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to stop doing it. And that's exactly my point for today's show. So sometimes we just go numb. We set our mind to change, but you actually don't. So perhaps it's time for another, me, myself, and I talk, or in your case, you, and realize what really is making sense or not. Do you really want to be that big of a company with that many employees giving you headaches all the time? Or perhaps it's the other way. Do you really want to do everything yourself and run yourself to the ground and come and drop dead like the friend of my wife's friend did? So perhaps it's time to hire someone. Perhaps it's time to delegate some of the things to somebody else. I was very reluctant to do that until I found Lizmar. She's my office admin. And I can tell you this, she's been with me for 2 years, and I could not be happier. Things that I thought I was the only one capable of doing it, she's doing it. And not just she's doing it, she's doing a lot better than I ever did. So it's time to change. Whatever change might be, growing, slowing down, finding the right, fit, changing completely from what you're doing, being miserable in your job. Perhaps you need to find a different passion. Perhaps you want a toxic relationship. Whatever that is, maybe it's time to hit snooze 2 or 3 times, or perhaps you already did that. Now it's finally time to wake up. This is my message for today. Hopefully you got something out of these. Perhaps it was your wake-up call to help you change to a better life. I'll leave a link below with the blog that I wrote about that. And I also ask you for your comments, suggestions, feedback. I'm always here. I listen and I read everything. So thanks so much. I appreciate you being here, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.
That's a wrap for this episode of No Strings Attached, untangling conversations about shady topics. If you enjoyed today's discussion, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with fellow industry pros and window treatment enthusiasts. For more expert insights, follow Roger on social media and visit Shades in Place at www.shadesinplace.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep your shades stylish and your conversations shady.